Sanibonani. Welcome back to lesson 3. I hope that you've been practicing what we've learned so far, our vowels and our pronunciations, our greeting, and even how to introduce yourself. And just to check how you're doing on that, let's begin with a little practice. So I'll greet you and you can respond, and then I'll ask you the introductory questions about yourself and you can respond. You ready? Let's go. Sawubona. Unjani? Nami ngiyaphila. Ngubani ligama lakho? Wakabani? Uhlalaphi? Great job. All right, let's carry on now, and we are going to learn what our content is for today's lesson, and that is how to make sentences, just simple basic sentences in the present tense. So in SiSwati, the present tense and present continuous are the same, meaning in English we would say I go to town and I am going to town, and that would be two different formats. But in SiSwati, I go to town and I am going to town is said the same way. Let me teach you a few sentences that you can say using the words that we learned in our first lesson on pronunciation. Do you remember those? Hamba, cela, sita, bona, and funa. And as we make these sentences, I'm going to teach us another aspect of grammar, which is our pronouns. Now in SiSwati, every sentence must have a pronoun. Our pronouns are rather I, he, she, they, we. Those are always in a sentence in SiSwati, even if you have a noun. So in English, we would say, mother is leaving. But in SiSwati, it would be expressed as mother, she is leaving. We always have the pronoun, whether it's he, she, I, or they. So those are the two things we'll see today. How to say simple sentences in the present and present continuous, and the fact that our pronouns will be part of our sentences. So let's use the first word we learned, hamba, which means to go or leave or to walk. And we're going to say the sentence, mother is leaving. Mother is leaving. In SiSwati, that would be mage, which means mother, u, which means she, yahamba, is leaving. Another little note there, lots of notes today, so have a pen and paper with you so you don't forget these, is ya, ya. Every time that our sentence doesn't have an object, so it just ends on the verb, mother is leaving. We're not saying where she's leaving to, or someone is talking. We're not saying what they're talking. Whenever there is no object, we always use this two-letter word ya just before the verb. It doesn't mean is, doesn't mean anything. We just use it. All right, you ready to continue? Mother is leaving. Mage uyahamba. Mother leaves would be the same thing. Mage uyahamba. Now let's use the second one. And the second word we learned, remember, has the click in it, cela, which means to ask for. Cela, to ask for. So now let's say mother is asking for water, right? Anybody else's mother like to ask for water, nice hot day, mother is asking for some cold water. And so how would we say mother is asking for water in SiSwati? We would say mage, which is mother, and remember we say u for she because we always use the pronoun, and then cela, which is ask for, emandi, which is water. Notice we didn't use ya in the sentence because we have an object. We're saying what she's asking for. We have something after the verb. So we just say mage ucela emandi. Mother is asking for water. And remember, it also is the same if we were saying mother asks for water. Make ucela emanti. All right, you're still tracking along? So we've used hamba, make uyahamba, make ucela emanti. Now let's use our other verb that we learned, sita, which is to help. Sita, which is to help. So let's make a sentence saying the child is helping, right? Or the child helps. The child is umntwana, and then we would say u, which is he or she. U means he or she or you. So one word for three pronouns. Umntwana, u, and then we would put ya because our sentence has no object, and then sita, which is our verb. Umntwana uyasita. The child is helping, or the child helps. All right, let's move on to bona, which is to see or to understand. Let's say mother understands. How would we say that in SiSwati? Mage, which is mother. U, which is she. We use ya because our sentence has no object, and then bona. Mage uyabona. Mother understands. And our final sentence, using our final word that we learned, which is funa, to want. Let's say the child wants cake. Anybody else familiar with that? My niece loves cake. I love cake too. Maybe you do too. And so let's talk about some cake. And we would, if we wanted to say the child wants cake, we would say umfana. Remember, we learned that is the child. And then u for he or she. And then funa, wants. We don't use ya this time because we have an object. And then likeke, which is cake. Nice new word for you there. Likeke. Umfana ufuna likeke. And that's it. That's how you make your simple sentences in the present and present continuous. I'm going to go through them again, and you can repeat them after me. I'll say the English and then the SiSwati, and then give you a chance to repeat. Our first one, mage. Sorry, I'll say it in English first. Mother is leaving, or mother leaves. Mage uyahamba. Second one, mother is asking for water, or mother asks for water. Mage ucela emanti. Next one, the child is helping, or the child helps. Umntwana uyasita. Next one, mother understands, or mother understands is what it would actually just remain as. Mage uyabona. And the last one, the child wants cake. Umntwana ufuna likeke. One more time. This time I'll just read them in SiSwati, and you can just listen and try to repeat if you can. Mage uyahamba. Mage ucela emanti. Umntwana uyasita. Mage uyabona. Umntwana ufuna likeke. There it is. Present and present continuous sentences. Remember, always use your pronoun. And remember, ya is that two-letter word that we use when our sentence has no object. We're done for today. Go practice, make some new sentences, learn some verbs that you can put in there and put this together now that you know the rules. And I'll see you next week, Monday, for lesson